Hey beautiful! Today, you and Queen Zani are going to talk about Aemeath, her details, and what kind of character she's shaping up to be. Also, there's a Lunite subscription giveaway in this video. All you have to do is like the video and drop a comment down below. Introducing LD Shop, one of the most reliable and secure top-up sites for Wuthering Waves. Now, you don't have to worry about top-up prices because here, you'll get 22% off on a Strike top-ups sourced through official partners. And if you've spent over $80, you'll receive a free 30-day lunar subscription. Enjoy safe and fast delivery. Your Strike is credited in just 5 minutes. To top up, simply provide your in-game details, and that's it. Additionally, this site has a high rating on Trustpilot and is secured by PayPal and other professional payment platforms, so you don't have to worry about safety. To visit LD Shop, click the link in the description and comments. New players get an extra 15% off coupon, meaning you can enjoy a total discount of up to 37%. So join LD Shop now. So, first up, let's talk about Aemeath. Aemeath is very simple at her core. She is one character with two forms, her normal form and her mech form. Everything in her kit revolves around switching between these two forms smoothly while building up to one big finisher. Her basic attacks don't need much explanation. Both forms have normal attacks, charged attacks, aerial attacks, and dodge counters, and they all deal fusion damage. The important thing to understand is that the third and fourth hits of her normal combo matter the most, because those are the hits that interact with the rest of her kit. As long as you're finishing your combos instead of stopping early, you're already playing her correctly. Now let's talk about the resonance skill, because this is where Aemeath actually becomes interesting. Her resonance skill is basically a form swap attack. After certain normal attacks, you press the skill button, and she performs a joint attack that deals fusion damage and instantly switches her form. She switches into mech, and mech switches back into human. You can even do this midair. This means you're not swapping forms randomly. You're swapping inside your combos. That's the core loop. Attack, swap, keep attacking. Once you understand that, the rest of her kit starts to make sense. Next is her forte circuit, which is one of her most important mechanics. When you land the fourth hit of a normal attack combo, and you have enough synchronization built up, you enter a short state called Light Wings Harmonize. This is basically a green light that says, use your skill now. During Light Wings Harmonize, pressing your resonance skill becomes a special enhanced attack. If you're in Aemeath's normal form, it pulls enemies together, briefly locks them in place, deals fusion damage, and switches you into mech form. If you're in mech form, it's a stronger damage-focused hit that switches you back into normal form. In both cases, the damage counts as resonance liberation damage, which means it benefits from ultimate buffs. This is why Light Wings Harmonize is so valuable. It's big damage, free form swap, and combo continuation all in one. Now, let's move to her Resonance Liberation, which is her ultimate and her biggest power spike. When you activate her Resonance Liberation, she deals a large burst of fusion damage and automatically switches into mech form. After that, she enters a powered-up state where everything becomes faster and smoother. During this state, your normal attack skips straight to later combo hits, and your inputs become more forgiving. This is your main damage window. While this state is active, you're filling 2 meters in the background, resonance rate and synchronization rate. When both of these reach maximum, you gain instant response, which allows you to charge heavy attacks almost instantly. More importantly, it unlocks her final move. That final move is Starlight Breaks the Boundary. This can only be used when all conditions are met. When you cast it, Aemeath unleashes a massive fusion attack, consumes all stored resources, ends her powered-up state, and switches her back to her normal form. This is the move you're building toward the entire time. One last thing worth mentioning is her resonance modes. Resonance modes because this part sounds complicated on paper, but it's actually very straightforward in gameplay. Aemeath can operate in 2 resonance modes depending on what your team is doing: Resonance Shock or Fusion Burst. You don't manually choose these. Your team actions decide the mode for you. In Resonance Shock mode, whenever your party responds to Resonance Shock interference, Aemeath gains 10 Resonance Shock trajectory stacks. These stacks can go up to 30, and they last for 30 seconds. Think of these stacks as stored bonus power that will later get consumed for extra effects. In Fusion Burst mode, things work a bit differently. Whenever your party applies Fusion Burst, Aemeath gains 1 fusion burst trajectory stack, also up to 30 stacks, lasting 30 seconds. On top of that, enemies near the active character who have 0 fusion burst stacks will automatically gain 1, and if an enemy ever goes over 5 fusion burst stacks, fusion burst detonates based on the stack cap and then removes those stacks. So fusion burst is all about stacking explosions and triggering detonations. While Aemeath is in either resonance shock mode or fusion burst mode, only specific attacks are allowed to apply resonance shock or fusion burst effects, and this can only happen once every 3 seconds per target. These attacks include the 3rd and 4th hits of both Aemeath's and Aemeath's normal attacks, both joint thrust attacks from her resonance skill and her 2 intro skills. This is another reason why finishing combos and using form swaps properly is so important. Now here's where this connects directly to her most important mechanic, Light Wings Harmonize. During Light Wings Harmonize, your current resonance mode gets bonus effects. If you're in resonance shock mode, Light Wings Harmonize triggers 5 additional instances of resonance shock damage, each hitting a random enemy. Every hit consumes resonance shock trajectory stacks and temporarily increases the amount of resonance shock damage that target takes by 4% per stack for 3 seconds. This turns Light Wings Harmonize into a massive damage amplifier for shock-based teams. If you're in Fusion Burst mode, Light Wings Harmonize instead detonates Fusion Burst based on the stack cap, but does not remove the stacks. Each hit removes Fusion Burst trajectory stacks and increases manual fusion burst detonation damage by 10% per stack. This makes Light Wings Harmonize a huge burst window for explosion focus setups. I think our Chisa is finally going to have a good teammate. Finally, there's Harmony Break, a unfinished melody. When an enemy's disharmony value becomes full, Aemeath can cast Harmony Break. While she's in resonance shock mode, she can both apply resonance shock at displacement and respond to resonance shock at interference. If a party member deals Harmony Break damage and applies Resonance Shock interference, Aemeath automatically follows up with Resonance Shock Response Starburst. This follow-up has an internal limit, meaning the same enemy can only take this damage a certain number of times within a set time window. So to simplify all of this into something viewers can actually remember, Resonance Mode stores stacks. Certain combo hits apply them, and Light Wings Harmonize is where those stacks explode into real damage. Once you understand that, this entire section stops being scary and starts making sense. Now let's talk about her weapon. So first, the base stats already tell you what this weapon wants to do. It gives 588 attack and 48% crit damage, which immediately tells you this weapon is built for burst damage. Now let's talk about the passive. The first part is very simple and always active. It gives 12% bonus to all attribute damage. Everything Aemeath does hits harder. Normal attacks, skills, forte, and ultimate. The second part is the real reason this weapon is her signature. Whenever shock deflection or embustion effect is applied to an enemy, Aemeath's resonance liberation damage becomes much stronger for 4 seconds. During this window, her liberation damage ignores 32% of the enemy's defense and ignores 16% of their melt resistance. This is extremely important because Aemeath's entire kit is built around setting up one massive liberation window. If shock or embustion is active, which her kit and teams naturally provide, her ultimate doesn't just hit harder, it bypasses enemy defenses, which is one of the strongest damage boosts you can get in this game. The 4-second duration also lines up perfectly with her burst timing. You're not meant to hold this buff, you're meant to apply the effect, immediately ULT, and finish with finale. So in simple terms, what does this weapon do for Aemeath? It boosts all her damage all the time, but when it's time to ultimate, it turns her resonance liberation into a defense-ignoring nuke. Alright, that's everything we know about her so far. If we get any new information, Zani will update you guys right away. And hey, if you have watched till the end, you are in legend.